What my vision is, I want all of your blessing, good wishes, that I make Vedanta as an institution. I have 2 children, I told them, you make bigger than Vedanta, but that was my fire to build the Vedanta. You may not have that same passion, and it's become so big, you will get lost. And if that Vedanta lose the glory, I will get hurt. Why don't we make this Vedanta as an institution and let it run? I see all the American companies run like that. And 75% of wealth we must give back. And what I need all of your blessing to have, we have 80 million, 8 crore बच्चे हैं 6 साल 7 साल के with a malnutrition. Not a single child. What? उसने क्या गुनाह किया है कि उसको दो वक्त का खाना नहीं मिले? We are doing the research in America to develop the capsule how our children cannot live malnutrition. Our women, 2 crore women, so intelligent, how they can be independent so they can make 20,000 rupees a month. We started a program called Nandghar. I would like you to participate, to come. Please, we have from all over the world, all the colleges, universities, volunteers are coming after we have to stop them. They want to come with a sleeping bag and serve the children, teach the women skill development. We are going to look at Ritu is with me, she is driving this whole thing. 13 lakh Nandghar we have to create, which is digitally driven. We have a solar panel on all the Nandghar, so electricity problem is not there. We have a TV, we have a borewell of each Nandghar so they get the fresh water. We have through TV, we virtual, we show, we teach our children. The health van comes to make sure that take care of the children's health. Then after that you have the children comes about 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. All over the world, all the food companies ready to help us. At the moment we are giving khichdi, we are giving some basic food to them. But it has to be interesting. It has to be interesting which children like. They love it, they run for that food. So we are talking and the response which I am getting from the food company is unbelievable. People are placing 1 million, all food companies, what you want. We will create a food for you, packed food for you, which you can give it to the children, which will not be fully protein food. We are very pleased. In the afternoon, from the village, all the girls comes, the ladies comes, they learn skill development. We have a lot of program for them. Walmart has come, Amazon has come. They teach them, they pack their material, take them. Each one is getting. सब कोई आटे की चक्की बना रहा है, कोई ब्यूटी पार्लर बना रहा है, कोई बैंक खोल रहा है. It is like a movement. Please join my movement. Please join my movement. I don't need money, but need that we all सबका साथ सबका विकास. सबका साथ सबका विकास. So Nandghar का this is what we are looking. We have 20% faculty in the world are Indian origin, and they all want to contribute to India. And today the digital university can be worked out, where nowhere, no matter where you are, you can learn. So we are looking how can we create another Harvard, a better Harvard, a digital Harvard in India for 2 lakh students. So these are things. सपना देखना है तो सपना देखना ही है ना, अच्छी तरह से देखो. तब I'm looking few years if I can make this company, and my vision is to make this company $100 billion, so we can 75 billion I can make as a trust, and all of you can be trustees, so this can be work for the poor to poorest. And when I die, I'm like I have nothing, no attachment. I have done everything for my children. I have done everything. Now I have done everything for the society, and my life is for the society. All of us, if if we can have that life where we have a responsibility towards our children, but some point of time we have to move on. We have to be above that. We have to be for the society. We have to be for the larger purpose. And if we have a larger purpose, I think that will be satisfaction. So with that, thank you very much for inviting me. I never had this experience. I'm always there for you. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Anil Agarwal, we cannot have you going so soon, not so soon. And in fact, personally, I want to say, there's so much to learn from you. Aapki speech abhi sunte hue, I had goosebumps. When you spoke about passion, when you spoke about, like you said, कि एक सपना देखा, and just one direction, and you focused on it, it's something that youth like us can personally relate to. I'm a banquet on MC. I left my job way back, and to be on stage to speak with a lot of people not understanding the unconventional career. But like you said, my mom, she's been there. My husband, he's been there. And leaders like you, the motivational content, where you reach, sir, you actually keep us going. Thank you so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for inspiring us. And now I take the honor to welcome on stage Mr. Tim Laron, member of Board of Directors, Anishnawbe Health Foundation, and a proud member of Nipissing First Nation, for the check presentation to Mr. Agarwal. And Mr. Agarwal, we request you to please come back on stage. Thank you. I'd also take the honor to invite on stage CIF Executive Board, Mr. Satish Thakkar, Mr. Ritesh Malik, Mrs. Sunita, Mr. Girish, Mrs. Hema Bhatt, and Mr. Anil Shah. Let's please have you here on stage. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And yes, let's please keep the claps going on, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Tim Laron.
Ani, Bozu, Tim Laron, Anishnawbe, Abdigi Zikin Dijlukas, Nibising Anishnawbe, Dujubad. What I said in the language of my Ojibwe ancestors is, my name is Tim Laron, and I'm a proud member of Nipissing First Nation. Nipissing First Nation is in the Robinson Huron Treaty area, just outside North Bay, Ontario. about 300 kilometers north of Toronto. I also want to thank the land acknowledgement earlier this evening, because it's important as Indigenous people we recognize that we're the early caretakers of this land. So from an Indigenous person like myself, I want to acknowledge and show my gratitude to the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation as we are gathering on their traditional territory tonight for this momentous occasion. First, I want to congratulate Mr. Neal Agarwal on receiving the 2022 Global Indian Award. Thank you for your amazing commitment to community and philanthropy. We deeply appreciate you selecting our foundation to receive the generous cash prize associated with the award tonight. And I should add that the cash prize was $50,000, but unbeknownst to us, Mr. Agarwal raised it another $21,000. So thank you for that. I also extend my thanks to Satish Takar and the leadership of the Canada-India Foundation, as well as the Gala sponsors and attendees here tonight, whose dedication and generosity have made this award possible. These funds will help us reclaim, restore, and preserve Indigenous traditional healing methods, practices that are vital to the health of our community and our people. Our partnership with the Canada-India Foundation began earlier this year in June on the summer solstice and National Indigenous Peoples Day, when we were invited to participate with you in the Yoga for Humanity event. And now, here we are on another meaningful day, the second annual National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, a day to learn and reflect about the trauma and legacy of Indian residential schools on the Indigenous community in Canada. We like to say that Anishnawbe Health offers more than a Band-Aid solution. We are helping First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people to address social detriments of health that are one of the most damaging legacies of these schools. Legacies include chronic health conditions, poverty, homelessness, trauma, and addiction. Legacies that shorten the lives of Indigenous people in this country. We know that the South Asian community understands that culture and identity and are vital to health and wellness. Your community and the Indigenous community share similar beliefs about the need for balance in mind, body, spirit, and emotion in order to find good health. Anishnawbe Health is more than a doctor's office. It's a place where the urban Indigenous community, including myself, can reclaim and restore identity and connect to our culture. A culture that colonial policies like the residential school system prevented and banned us from celebrating and taking part in for so long. When our foundation started raising funds 6 years ago, members of the Indian diaspora in the GTA quickly stood shoulder to shoulder with us. Dr. Shaw, who has served as a physician at the health center in his retirement and is now a founding board member of our organization, along with the Kanta Aurora and the Toronto Natri Lions Club, and the Sonata, Mandir Cultural Center, and CJ Shaw and FOMCO. Family have all provided leadership support for our recent capital campaign to build a new home for Anishnawbe Health that will open next year. In the summer of 2021, many members of your community helped us provide emergency support to the members of Cat Lake First Nation who were evacuated far from home to Mississauga when dangerous forest fires threatened their community. And today, Shiv Bansal's real estate team has been matching donations to us, dollar for dollar, up to $25,000 to honor the Day for Truth and Reconciliation. We're proud to have Neal Agarwal and the Canada-India Foundation join the circle, and we know that our communities will continue to share this bond into the future. In my community, reciprocal giving is an important value as we walk the road to reconciliation together. In this spirit, what I presented to Mr. Agarwal earlier is a special print created for our foundation last year in advance of the inaugural Day for Truth and Reconciliation, The Great Reunion by Ojibwe artist Brandon Jackal. And I also presented a certificate of appreciation for the Canada-India Foundation to Satish Takar for his generosity in having us here tonight. Miigwech means thank you in my language. I wish everyone a wonderful evening, all my relations.
Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Honorable Mary Ng, is Canada's Minister of International Trade, Export Promotion, Small Business and Economic Development since 2018. Under her able leadership, Canada and India are expected to draw up ambitious new plans on mutually beneficial trade and investment agreements. Please welcome on stage, Honorable Mary Ng.
Well, good evening, everyone. Bonjour, namaste. Let me acknowledge that on this National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, that we are privileged to gather on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishnawbe, the Haudenosaunee, the Chippewa, and the Wendat peoples. It's important to recognize that Indigenous peoples have always been here and that all Canadians have a role to play in reconciliation. I want to congratulate the Canada-India Foundation for this wonderful Global India Award Gala. And we are doing this in person. It has been a long time since we have been here in person, and it is terrific. It is really special to be here with everyone, the distinguished guests from all levels of government, the Premier, of course, my colleague Minister Helena Jasek, my colleague members of Parliament in Sonia Sidhu, in Paul Chang, really, really wonderful, and of course, Her Excellency the Consul General of India here based in Toronto. And ladies and gentlemen, how inspiring it was to hear the award winner in Mr. Neal Agarwal and the terrific honor that the CIF has given to him, and we listen to the incredible stories of his journey and the incredible opportunities that he has articulated and highlighted for the collaboration between India and Canada. It really is inspiring. Let me just take a moment here as well to thank everyone in this room tonight, the dynamic Indo-Canadian community here, and the enormous contribution that you make to Canada and the relationship we have to deepen our relationship with Canada is through these very important people-to-people ties. And to the Canada-India Foundation, thank you for all you have done to grow and strengthen this relationship between our two countries. This is something that is top of mind for me as Canada's Trade Minister. Last May, I visited India. Indeed, it was the first country in the Indo-Pacific region that I visited since we were able to travel. I spent time with my friend and colleague, Minister Piyush Goyal, who is India's Minister of Commerce, Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food, Public Distribution, and Textiles. I often joke with Piyush that his title is about as long as mine. But we certainly had a very productive ministerial dialogue on trade and investment, so productive that we launched trade negotiations. And we're now at the negotiating table working on an early Canada-India early progress trade agreement. It's going to be a pragmatic agreement. It's going to be commercially relevant. It's the first step to build towards a comprehensive economic partnership agreement. Our trading relationship has much potential for growth. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and you heard that earlier from Mr. Agarwal. A hub of innovation with talent and investment opportunities. Indeed, Canadian portfolio investments in India has grown more than 50% over the past 5 years to over $60 billion. This is an opportunity for Canadian exporters and businesses and Indian exporters alike. I spoke to Piyush yesterday morning following our meeting at the G20 last week, and we're both very committed to achieving an agreement that will benefit both India and Canada alike. But the two of us speak more than just about our trade relationship. We also talk about the people-to-people relationship relationship that is just so prevalent here tonight. I wished him well on Navaratri. He invites me for Diwali. I tell him, well, I celebrate Diwali here at home in Canada in my wonderful riding in Markham Hill. And what a wonderful India diaspora I have, who is so generous at teaching me and sharing with me their celebrations. Hiresh is here, who's a member of the board. I think he would agree. So it is this very special type of connection and relationship to the CIF, where you build these relationships between our people and our two countries. So I want to thank the Canada-India Foundation, your board, your members, for being so generous with your input as I continue this important work, for convening those roundtables so I can hear the voices from business and community leaders, the feedback that will be so important in this agreement that we will eventually have. Canada's home to 1.4 million people of Indian heritage. That's a lot of bridge builders, a lot of ambassadors with unique expertise on India, the Indian market, and opportunities. I truly believe that our Indo-Canadian community is our greatest asset to strengthening Canada-India relationships, and I'm excited to continue our work together. So congratulations everyone on your success this evening, and here's to many more years. All the best. Good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're extremely honored to have you here amongst us. And ladies and gentlemen, I request your attention here as our next speaker is Honorable Helena Jessic, Canada's Minister of Public Services and Procurement and Receiver General of Canada. Please welcome on stage Honorable Helena Jessic.
Thank you so very much, and good evening, everyone. It's just wonderful to be here again at the Canada-India Foundation Gala. I've attended through the years many, many times, and it's great to see so many old friends. First of all, of course, I want to also congratulate Mr. Agarwal for his amazing philanthropy and all the good that he is doing with his amazing contributions, and indeed his very inspiring words. So, as my colleague Mary Ing mentioned earlier, what binds our two countries so close is our people. Governments, commerce, and trade agreements certainly strengthen our ties, but it is our people that make the bond between India and Canada unbreakable. As we all know, the Indian diaspora has roots in virtually every community across this country and contributes immeasurably to the fabric of our society. In my own riding of Markham I have so many Indo-Canadians. I meet them at Sanatan Mandir, at Arya Samaj, at BAPS, and I always feel so at home. I also want to add my praise and thanks to the Canada-India Foundation for the ongoing work that you do in strengthening our ties, both here in Canada and in India. 15 years of fostering entrepreneurship and helping to expand the opportunities that exist for businesses. And while Mary Ing continues to work diligently on negotiating a Canada-India early progress trade agreement and making progress towards a free trade agreement, for my part in my role as the Minister of Public Services and Procurement, I'm working with my team to create a more modern, less cumbersome procurement process. So some of you in the business community may be interested because of course we want to ensure that businesses spend less